Hey, good morning. Welcome to yet another episode of Redstone LAPIS LAZULI. Tis I, your host, Pogo Kiddo. Hello, welcome. Glorious happy Sunday. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's still glorious and happy. I mean, okay, I don't even like the happiness comes from a different place than the normal superficial happiness. How about that? Because on the surface it looks pretty bad. I woke up to the news of hearing a mass shooting in Sacramento, California. Mass shooting in California. Like, so they have gun laws, California, right? But they had a mass shooting anyways. Well, what does that mean? It means patchwork gun laws are kind of a bad idea. And we should probably start thinking about this issue on a national level instead of expecting 50 individual states to come up with their own solution to a problem that crosses state lines. It's like intentionally hamstringing yourself. Yeah, all right. Hey, hold on. Hey, good morning. um, yeah. It's like, yeah. I mean, we're the only country that hasn't really figured this out yet, and it's funny, right? Because it's like this: have we not figured it out? Have we not figured it out, or is another group's power based on firearms? Because I'm pretty sure we got reams and reams of studies that will say the same thing. The more guns you have, the more gun deaths you have. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The more guns you have, the more gun deaths you have. And everything else is not important. Nothing else connects. Nothing else connects. But I carry a gun to protect me from crime. Nope. In all the states, they've done studies for days and days and days. No. Crime rate has no connection to gun ownership. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's no connection. They're all over the place. You could have states with high crime and high guns. You could have states with low crime and low guns. You could have states with high crime and low guns. And you could have states with low crime and high guns. They're not connected. It's not connected. Crime, guns, not connected. Not connected. Not there. Don't do it. Because it's not there. If you step there, you're going to fall through and fall. Because it's not there. So, guns, for sure, killing people. We know for sure that more guns equals more gun deaths. We know for sure the way you deal with this is just with gun regulation. But we also know for sure there's one particular group. I mean, there's spillover to other groups. For sure, of course, yes. But particularly for this one group, they are adamant about the freedom to distribute and hoard firearms and to hold firearms. And there is a correlation. There is a correlation between firearms and white supremacy. I guarantee it. Sure, you could have your left-wingers who are all about firearms. You have your anarchists who are all about firearms, holding firearms, because, yeah, that's an individual freedom. Of course, entirely consistent with being an anarchist. Access to firearms, entirely consistent with being an anarchist. Entirely consistent. Authoritarian, access to firearms. Well, think about it. If we're gonna do our little four-dimensional or our political compass, we're gonna do a political compass here. because I'm throwing out these terms and people are being like, what? But let me color code it a little bit. What can I do for color coding? We're gonna go light blue for that side. How does it go? Was it yellow? They put up with yellow, and then green, and then red. Oh geez, hold on. Check it out. I'm learning how to play Minecraft. I'm like playing Minecraft as I'm doing a show about Minecraft. Wait a minute. You're supposed to do all this stuff ahead of time. Well, you know, it just works out that way sometimes. You go with the flow. Right now, the flow is going this way. Green. Oh, that yellow's not enough. We get orange. It would take time to make new concrete, and I don't want to go do it. Use concrete powder, I guess. Let me just go here for now. Are we? Yeah, we're going. All right. Okay, so everyone thinks of, not everyone, but a lot of people think of the politics as being a line. You're either on the left or you're on the right, and then you have somewhere in the middle. That's a common misconception of the way things work. Let me even use this one so you can see how many. I can see how many blocks. Let me turn off these pretty colors too, so you can see even more clearly. Jeez Louise. Okay, so some people think you have a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a lot of people have this misconception that American politics is sort of like on a line, that you have the left over here with the Democrats and the right over here with the Republicans. And then you have somewhere in the middle. The media likes to talk a lot about moderates. And the moderates that the media talks about, let's see, who are they? It would be Joe Manchin. It would be Joe Manchin and Susan Collins and like Lisa Murkowski. Okay, Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema on the Democratic side, and well, I had their names: Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins on the Republican side. They're the quote unquote moderates because sometimes the two Republican ladies will vote on a Democratic nomination sometimes. And all the time, the two Democrats will vote for Republicans on legislation and everything. So it's really a misconstrued idea of what the middle is. The middle, according to the media, is almost everybody. Like on the Republican side, they call the Republicans the middle, is what I'm saying. The media, by the virtue of their labels, I should use fences over here, or not fences, signs. The media, by virtue of their labels, creates a frame, a perspective, and then it sort of like conditions the way you think. Because if they say, if the media says this is the center, then your brain is automatically going to configure around what the center is, or what they presented to you as the center. So the key for them, the trick for them, is to make sure that the center is nowhere near the actual center. Okay, so according to the media, over here, this is the Democrats, and we're gonna say on the far left, we're gonna go Bernie Sanders. Okay, and over here this is the Republicans, the Republicans, and then we're gonna have over here on the far right, we're gonna have the far right. What's his name? McConnell, Mitch McConnell. McConnell, whatever. I don't know how to spell his name. Okay, and the media, I'm gonna put it over here. The media wants to say, I'm gonna say it's over how many blocks? This block over here. The media says this is the middle. So you got, so over here you have Manchin, Cinema, Murkowski. If I kill your name, I'm sorry. If I'm butchering your name. Collins. So do you see the problem? The problem is when you map it out, the problem is immediately apparent. Okay. The problem becomes immediately apparent. The media has set the middle on the right. The middle, according to the media, is on the right. We're on Nazi side. Because I want to look at this side. I want to look at this side and say, well, no, the Republicans are not a monolith. There are people who are who are not necessarily representative of the entirety of the Republican Party. And I say no, that's a lie. That's wrong. That's incorrect. They are a monolith. This is a monolith. The ones that you will point out here, you got Romney here too. I forgot Romney. The ones that the media will point out to be moderates, like Romney. Here you got Romney. He's like the major moderate. Okay, the media has set these people as to be the middle, but the middle that the media has set is on the side of the Republicans. The Republican side is the Nazi side. This is the Nazi side because all these guys, even the moderates, are all on board with the same idea that it's okay to overthrow the United States. Romney might have voted for one of the impeachment things. That's it. Big deal. He didn't vote for the other things, and he votes in tandem with the Republicans on everything else. That's important. So he's not really a moderate. He's not. They paint him like a moderate, but he's a Nazi like the rest of the Republicans. They paint Manchin and Sinema as moderate, but they hang out with the Republicans. How could, and if the Republicans they hang out with are Nazis, is there such thing as a moderate Nazi? Think about it. Is there such thing as a moderate Nazi? No. The media has totally misconstrued what is the middle. They have messed it up. The media has messed it up. It doesn't matter what media you go to. Like any mainstream media is going to do the same thing. They're going to have this stuff messed up. CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, I don't care. They're all going to put the middle right here, which is on the right. So your whole viewpoint is skewed from the start. Okay, that's one problem. The second problem is that they have placed everything on a line. Do you remember when I talked to you about dimensions, like how you can like stack dimensions? Stack dimensions. I mean, for real, you stack dimensions. Okay, so first you have 0 dimensions. You have 0 dimensions. Boop. That's a point. This block is a point. 0 dimensions. It has no width, no height, no depth, nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's infinitesimally small. Infinitely small. You can never stop going down. You will never find it if you try to find it going down. All it is are coordinates. That's it. That's it. Just a point. Just a point. Zero dimensions. No depth, no width, no height, no nothing. But if you have one of these zero dimension entities called a point, and you take another zero dimension entity called a point. Remember this one right here. This one. No depth, no width, no height, nothing. Zero dimensions. This zero dimension thing and this zero dimension thing, when you say, whoa, hey, there's two zero dimension things. Boom. Oh, you've discovered what's always been there, a relationship. The invisible line connecting these 2 points. Wong. And because of that, now you can say, hey, I'm either that point is either closer to me or farther away from me. Now that's a dimension. One dimension. You have one dimension. Before, when it was just a point, you had nowhere to go, nothing to do, related to nothing. You are there. There's nothing. In the beginning. But if you add a second point, now you've got a relationship and you've got a dimension, which is you can be closer to this point or you can be further from this point. Okay, that's fine. But wait a minute, that's kind of cool. What if you do another one? What if you go like, bump, hold on. Right? If you can go like that and then go that and make a dimension, what if you put another one? Now you got another line. Go boo doo 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 doo, and then boo doo doo doo. So you have this related to this related to this, both of these related to that, and then you have both of those related to this. Like you basically made another dimension. So you had one dimension. Wait a minute, did I do this wrong? I did do this wrong. I went too far fast. I added over here. This way, right? Now you've got a plane, right? Now you have a plane. You have a plane of existence. So this is two dimensions. You have an entire flat area to work with. This is two dimensions. When you add that third one up here, that's three dimensions. Now you have that one, that one, that one, and it's that one up there. You go, it makes three dimensions. So every time you add dimensions, you add more freedom. So over here, the media has given you this broken ass version of the political landscape. But this is totally broken because it's one dimension. It only gives you one dimension, and it sets the center favoring biased on the right. It sets on a bad center. It's not the true center. Okay. So a political compass, what it does is it adds a second dimension. Instead of just one dimension going along this line, now you have you have a plane. You have a plane to work with. And this plane can be subdivided like into quadrants. blue, green, red. Okay, so this is another way of doing the political compass. Instead of the one dimension that the media has given you from before, now you have two dimensions. Before, the media only gave you left or right, and that's it. But now you have up and down. So now you have this, not, instead of just a line, now you have a plane. Now you can explain more clearly what's happening in the political world. So when you look at the Republican Party and you say, well, what do they stand for? What is the platform of the Republican Party? Actual GOP policy plans are, if you forgive the hack-and-died metaphor, the Bruno of American politics, the thing we don't like to talk about. After not having a party platform in 2020, Republicans are also skipping any official statement of midterm policies. Mitch McConnell and Scott are feuding. Rick Scott. He was former governor of Florida. He's a Nazi, just like Mitch McConnell. Are feuding about the Rescue America plan, not on matters of substance, but because McConnell believes that Republicans are better off if they do not reveal their policies. McConnell believes that Republicans are better off if they do not reveal their policies, if they keep their plans secret. McConnell believes his party is better off in the election if he tells everyone, oh yeah, we have plans, but we're not going to tell you what they are. Vote for us. We have secret plans. It's a view shared by the conservative intelligentsia, and it's probably correct just on purely strategic grounds. Yes. Because the people who vote for Republicans don't vote for Republicans based on economic stuff. They vote for Republicans because they're white supremacists. Republicans are the white supremacist party. But they can't go out and say we're the white supremacist party because then it's out in the open. Instead, they do the wink, wink, nudge, nudge, dog whistle thing. They just dog whistle that they're white supremacists. For example, what happened in Kaiser, Oregon, the other week? They had a Nazi rally at the baseball stadium there. And some jerk on Twitter came over to me and was saying like, oh, I don't see any Nazis. And like, the idea is that's because he's a Nazi. So of course he's not going to see Nazis. He's never going to say it. But you can make Nazis come out if you know how. I didn't plan on talking about this, but since I am, I need to pull it up real quick. And this is like a slow show. I'm sorry. I woke up late and oh, that guy just deleted. See, he deleted all of it before I could I should have screenshotted all of it before I got him. Yeah. He deleted. He deletes stuff. Yep. Oh well. So this is Nazi. He comes out and he says, "I'm not a Nazi." I'm like, "Yeah, you're a Nazi." He says, "How can I be a Nazi?" And he starts listing off all this stuff. All this. He says the reason why I'm not a Nazi is because of a bunch of superficial stuff. That only Nazis care about. I'm like, oh, that's how come I know you're a Nazi, because you listed a bunch of stuff that only Nazis care about. And then yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna come back to this. Why was I even telling you about this? Yeah, so this is another way of looking at the middle, or looking at the. Why did I tell you about this whole thing? Why did I even tell you about this? How did I get stuck in this? Yeah, I like went way off on the wrong direction. I don't even know what I was talking. I'm gonna start over. I'm sorry. I mean, this is relevant, right? So look at it this way. If you map it out in 2 dimensions instead of the 1 dimension that the media gives you, this will make more sense. I got my signs with me, right? Yeah. Okay. So on this axis is economic. So you got this as eco. My torch is back up. Uh, okay. If you look at it this way, it's another way of looking at it. Instead of your traditional left and right, you add another dimension and you separate out what it means for the line. Over here, in the old version, this line signified everything. So it's kind of hard. Like, if you're a libertarian, where do you fit on this line? If you're libertarian, you believe in low taxes and like little government regulation, but you also think that government shouldn't regulate like individual things such as your body and your religion and what you pledge allegiance and things like that. So like, do you really fit on this side? It doesn't. Like, do you really want to associate with Nazis? I don't know, right? It doesn't seem to fit. And on this side, it's like, how is it that Bernie Sanders hangs out with people on the same party as Kristen Sinema? Like, how does that happen? She's a racist, a Republican, and he's like a socialist. How do they stay in the same party? Like, what's going on with that? And it's because this is distorted. This view is distorted. It's just a broken way of looking at it. If you try to smush it into 1 dimension, you lose all the information. So if you separate out, if you let it expand into 2 dimensions, it makes more sense. And you can separate out what the line means. Now, instead of 1 line that signifies everything, you have 2 lines, and they mean 2 different things. This line here means left and right. This line means economy. So if you don't want to pay taxes, if you don't think government should be involved in the economy, if you don't think there should be any regulations of corporations or business, if you don't think business should have any kind like if you think business should be totally free to do whatever it needs to do to make money, then you're over here. You're on the far right of economic freedom. Total laissez-faire, let businesses do what they need to do. No government regulation whatsoever. But on the opposite side, you're like, no, government should be involved in everything. In fact, there should be no economy outside of government. This far side. We're talking the extremes, right? There should be no economic activity outside of government. Government should regulate all economic activity. That means like anything you make has to be according to what the government says. You can't just make stuff. The government has to okay it. It has to be according to what the government says. Okay. And then on this axis, the up and down, this is for the individual. This is for economy, and this is for the individual. How much freedom does the individual have? So here we can, instead of it looking at it like this, we can turn it sideways and look at it this way and make it look like left to right, right? This is individual freedom. This is lots of individual freedom, and this is no individual freedom. The state tells you what to do, who to love, where to go, where to be, who to marry, like what time to have sex, everything. The state tells you everything. Over here, it's total individual freedom. The government can't tell you to do anything. It's absolute, you place everything on individual freedom, individual liberty. The individual is master of themselves. Total and complete individual freedom over here. So that's the two sides, right? There's this side, individual versus our government versus individual, and then you have this side, which is for liberties, the person, and this side for economy. That's the economic compass. And when you do it like that, then things start to make more sense. Because then you can see that, like, Bernie Sanders, he is totally for economic freedom, or not for individual freedom, right? He wants people to love who they want to love, like marry who they want to marry, smoke marijuana if they want to smoke marijuana, like don't put people in prison for their health choices. That's Bernie Sanders, like individual freedom. But he also thinks that corporations should pay their fair share, and they shouldn't just willy-nilly pollute wherever they want to. So he's for individual freedom, but he also thinks for economy that government, or that corporations should be regulated by the government. So he's down here on the individual side, and over here on the what's it called? On the economy side. Okay, and then you have someone like Kirsten Sinema. Kirsten Sinema believes, oh man, I don't know what she believes. She didn't want to raise the minimum wage because it would hurt businesses. So she's definitely on the business side. She's over here. She's on the business side. And I don't know. What other votes did she have? On the social side, what kind of votes? Was she more for regulation or freedom? I don't know. I'm going to put here right here. Cinema and Mansion. Okay, and then you got someone like Mitch McConnell, who's over here. He wants the state to control everything about individuals, where they can be, who they can love, and who they can marry, and everything else. He wants the government to be able to control individual action a lot. But he also wants corporations to have total freedom to do whatever they need to do. So he wants to totally control the humans, and he wants to totally let the corporations have freedom to do what they want. So that's Mitch McConnell. I think Rand Paul's a Nazi, so Rand Paul's like over here too. But anyways, none of this is important. I think it's more me just yapping on a Sunday morning, working it out in my head. I don't know. I'm sorry. I should have had something better. What was I doing? Dude, I've been all over the place today. I didn't sleep well last night. You can hear it in my nose. I've got a wad of snot stuck in the back of my throat, or in my sinus system, and I don't know how to get it out. I can try to like create a vacuum and like to suck it out, but it doesn't get very far. Just a ball of snot hanging out up there. Maybe if I eat some hot peppers or something. But I can totally feel it. It's just like, and it's probably the reason why I couldn't sleep last night. What a boring show. This is a terrible show. I'm sorry. So yeah, I made this trail. It doesn't like just making a trail. I chopped down some trees, so I replanted. But where does it go? It goes to this little bay, and it's like an inlet. And it looked like I thought it was a river at first, but if you go far enough, it turns out not to be a river. So so crazy. You have to make a shovel before you can make a boat. um, I don't know. Yeah, it's a big bay. That's all this is. It's a big bay. Free ink sacks? Okay. It's a bay. Here's the mouth of the bay. Or an inlet. That's all it does. It just goes in. That's it. It's not even and over here. Then you have your pirate cove over here. Pirate cave. Yar. It's dark. That provides like no light. I'm caving in a boat. What's going on here? Okay, let's get out of here. So yeah, hey. I don't think that's the real pirate cave. I saw another one that was a better example of one. Yes, yes, that's where this direction goes. It So I'm not sure what I'm doing over here. I guess I can develop up there, up on that. Develop. I had all this stuff, and it just seems like blah. The Russians are withdrawing from around Kyiv and from western Ukraine. Well, they got destroyed. I think the army got destroyed, or no, it withdrew, but it got wrecked. The Russian army got wrecked in the west, and but as they left, all their war crimes are becoming apparent. They murdered all these civilians who had nothing to do at all with the war or anything. They just murdered civilians. And like, it's bad. I mean, like, there's photos of men with their hands tied behind their backs, and they're shot in the back of the head. Like, why would you do that? What's the point? They offer no threat to you whatsoever. At that point, you're being Nazis. Yeah. Hey, check this out. I made a new train line. I also finished that stairway up there. Finally. I think that's why I'm kind of tired. I've just been like building a lot of stuff. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm lazy. Lazy. I don't get out much anymore. So yeah, I decided I'm gonna try to expand to this other side here. Like, I haven't. This is still the island, right? We're still on the island. But it's on the that side's facing that's like the end, and this is just on the other side of Shanti's hill. Shanti's house is up there somewhere-ish. And this is just like a nice little bay. And I think I want to put like mob farms out here. Yoshin. Well, maybe over here. I can light up the surface over here easy. It's not a lot of surface. So yeah, put a mob farm up here because I need a creeper farm. I got a netherite pickaxe, but it cost me a stack of a gunpowder, and I only got like 4 pieces of ancient debris. So it's looking like, yeah, I need to expand. I need to make a creeper farm, and I wanted to do it over here, and maybe get like a farmer's market going on this side too. Which means I have to clear out trees and stuff. I have to like work this area. Work it. I gotta work it. Okay then. Yes. I have these stories. What stories to tell? Man, I don't feel like doing anything. I bad. Like, yeah, I didn't even prepare. I didn't really prepare anything. I kind of did, but not really. I just don't want to talk about it. Yeah, maybe it was a bad idea to start the show this morning. I should have waited. In fact, I think that's probably a good idea. I've only gotten like a half hour into it, right? Yeah, like, yeah, maybe another time. I'm not feeling it right now. It's not happening. Okay, sorry guys. Maybe later. All right, peace.